Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Surabhi Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 23rd of August. Chinese Defence Minister meets India counterpart in New Delhi to boost ties. Afghanistan will not attend peace talks in Moscow with Taliban, says Foreign Ministry. And UNICEF warns over potential loss of generation of Rohingya children. And now for all the details. Distressed residents have started returning to their homes as water recedes in India's flooded southern Kerala province. Shattered survivors were seen cleaning up their houses and sifting through ruined memories as their lives' hard work lay in the open with muddy water accumulated all around.
Distressed local residents of popular tourist destination Munnar of India's flood-ravaged Kerala province revisited their homes on Wednesday to share devastation inflicted by massive landslides and heavy rains. Munnar, located in Idukki district, was one of the worst affected areas which witnessed a series of major landslides, leaving several dead, tourists stranded and cutting the region from other parts of the province over a week. The houses in the landslide-affected region were seen ravaged with mud and sand from landslides.
ஃபுல்லாவே ஒந்தி இந்த சைடு மொத்தம் இறங்கிருச்சு. வீடு எந்த வீடும் இல்லை. நாங்கள் இங்கே இருக்க ஏரியாவில் ஒரு 5-6 வீடு வந்து முற்றிலும் ஒரு சாதனம் கூட எடுக்காத அளவுக்கு எங்களுக்கு பாதிச்சிருச்சு. அதனால் வீட்டுக்குள்ளே தண்ணி வந்து அந்த சைடு உடஞ்சி வீட்டுக்குள்ளே ஃபுல்லாக மழை வந்துருச்சு. தண்ணி அந்த மழை தண்ணி செப்டிக் எல்லாம் எல்லாமே வீட்டுக்குள்ளே வந்துருச்சு.
Meanwhile, Kerala's Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan said on Wednesday that flood rescue operations were reaching their final stages across the province.
അവസാനിക്കുന്ന ഘട്ടത്തിലേക്കാണ് നാം എത്തിയിട്ടുള്ളത്. അപ്പോൾ സ്വാഭാവികമായും അവരിവിടുന്ന് മടങ്ങാൻ ഒരുങ്ങുകയാണ്. നാം കണ്ടത് സേനകളൊക്കെ ഇവിടെ ഒരു ജനകീയ സേനകളായി മാറുന്നതാണ്.
Road clearance, rescue and relief operation work were stepped up in Munnar, one of the major tourist destinations of Kerala. Around 1.3 million are sheltering in thousands of relief camps across Kerala. The worst floods in the province in a century claimed 383 lives, flattened tens of thousands of homes and washed away roads and bridges.
Chinese Defence Minister Wei Fenghe on Thursday held talks with Indian counterpart Nirmala Sitharaman in New Delhi to deepen military ties. The meeting was significant to improve ties, mainly after a military standoff last year.
Chinese Defence Minister Wei Fenghe met his Indian counterpart Nirmala Sitharaman in New Delhi on Thursday to deepen military ties. The Chinese leader was accorded a Tri-Services Guard of Honour upon his arrival at the South Block, which houses the Indian Defence Ministry in New Delhi. Chinese President Xi Jinping and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi agreed in April to open a new chapter in ties just months after a dispute over a stretch of their high-altitude Himalayan border rekindled fears of war. The defence ministers held delegation-level talks to further strengthen Indo-China defence cooperation and strategic ties. This was their second meeting, as they had already met in Beijing earlier this year on the sidelines of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit. Fenghe's visit also acted as a gesture that the association between the Indian Army and the Chinese People's Liberation Army are recovering.
In news from Afghanistan, Afghanistan's foreign ministry has denied that it will attend the peace talks with Taliban to be held in Moscow next month. Meanwhile, a former Taliban political figure has confirmed Taliban's participation in the meeting, which will discuss the prospects of peace in Afghanistan.
Afghanistan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, or MOFA, on Wednesday said that the government will not participate in the upcoming peace meeting on Afghanistan in the Russian capital of Moscow next month. The ministry said that the government firmly believes in intra-Afghan dialogues. According to officials, the government has not received a formal invitation to attend the talks so far.
اجماع منطقوی در مورد افغانستان باید در محور دولت جمهوری اسلامی افغانستان شکل بگیرد و قطعا روند صلح نیز به رهبری دولت جمهوری اسلامی افغانستان انجام باید بشه. در این نشست، در نشست مسکو قرار است شرکت نکنیم.
Meanwhile, a former Taliban political figure, Syed Akbar Agha, said that Taliban will attend the meeting and will start discussions on prospects of peace in Afghanistan with the countries in the region.
مسکو مجلس تی طالبان والته موافقه کړې ده حالت زی په دې کې شک نشته. البته دا هغه خبرې دي ټول چې د اسیا پر مربوط خبرې دي چې خارجيان راغلي دي اسیا ته. د اسیا مملکتونو ټول په وام کې دي د خارجيانو هغه ټول مملکتونه غواړي چې خارجيان د افغانستان څخه ووځي.
Moscow prepares for the talks when top US diplomat Alice Wells met top Taliban officials in Doha.
More on news from Afghanistan. Work of renovation has completed on Chihil Sutun Palace in Afghan capital Kabul. The age-old cultural heritage site is expected to attract thousands of visitors from all over the country.
Renovation work of Chihil Sutun Palace, a cultural heritage site from the 19th century in Afghan capital Kabul, has been completed. Built by Abdur Rahman Khan, who was Emir of Afghanistan from 1880 to 1901, the palace covers over 60 acres of land and consists of pavilion and a garden. It is now expected to attract thousands of visitors from across the country. Earlier, it was used as a guest house for foreign delegates before the civil war in 1990s. But almost 50% of the palace was badly damaged during the past decades of conflicts in Afghanistan.
در وقت داود خان اینجا مردمای وزیر و رئیس خارجه می آمدن اینجا جلسه پیدا میکردن جلسه میکردن نان میخوردن اینجا میهمانخانه بودن.
شخصا خودم که دیده بودم تمام وسایل چپرکت و بستره و خصوصا ظروفی از نقره ساخته شده بود و تا زمان آخر ریاست جمهوری دکتر نجیب الله فعال.
The project was financed by the German government and implemented by Aga Khan Development Network, which works on the renovation of historical and cultural places in the country. The project took over 3.5 years.
A UNICEF report marking 1 year of Rohingya exodus from Myanmar's Rakhine province states potential loss of an entire generation of Rohingya children. It highlights educational loss as well as health danger due to their current living situation.
More than 500,000 Muslim Rohingya children in refugee camps in Bangladesh risk becoming a lost generation if not given a proper education and guidance, United Nations Children's Fund or UNICEF said on Thursday. Dangers like diseases and floods due to the living conditions in camps also surround the current young generation of refugees. A latest UNICEF report marks the 1 year since the violence in Myanmar's Rakhine province forced 700,000 Rohingyas to flee to neighboring countries and highlights the danger the young generation faces. UNICEF's senior communicative advisor addressed a news briefing in Geneva after spending 6 weeks in camps located in Bangladesh's Cox's Bazar.
You know, we're talking about risking the loss or potential loss of a generation of Rohingya children, because it isn't just the 500,000 or so children on the Bangladeshi side of the border, but it's also those who are still left behind in Rakhine states, whose access to education is patchy at best and highly limited. So we really are talking about a whole generation of Rohingya children whose education.
The report also mentions stepping up investment in long-term future of the Rohingya youth. The United Nations estimates that another 530,000 to 600,000 stateless Rohingyas remain in Rakhine province, including some 360,000 children. The UN has limited access there.
Moving on to news from Sri Lanka, Japanese Defence Minister Itsunori Onodera visited 3 strategic ports in Sri Lanka during his 2-day trip to the island nation. He also held talks with the top Sri Lankan leadership to boost ties between the two countries.
Japanese Defence Minister Itsunori Onodera visited 3 strategic ports in Sri Lanka during his 2-day trip to the island nation. Onodera visited the Colombo port on Tuesday and on Wednesday visited the Hambantota port, which has been leased and is operated by Chinese state-owned company China Merchants Group. He also visited the Trimcomalee port, one of the largest natural harbours in the world, which has been earmarked by the government for joint development by India and Japan.
Our location is tremendous. But, as you know, Excellency, location alone will not help. You have to also have efficient ports.
Onodera's trip came as Japan has given hundreds of millions of dollars in soft loans to modernize the Colombo port over the last 4 decades. During his visit, he also met top Sri Lankan leadership to boost ties.
Government in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province has set up a satellite communication centre in its Budgam district to be used at times of natural disasters. The centre has been equipped with latest communication facilities, including 3 satellite phones.
Authorities in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province have established a satellite communication centre in Budgam district for natural disasters like floods and earthquakes. The satellite communication centre or satellite phone centre has been equipped with latest communication facilities, including 3 satellite phones. Locals welcome the move by the government, which will help them connect and rescue in case of natural calamities in the Kashmir Valley.
देखिए यहाँ पे हमने स्टेट इमरजेंसी ऑपरेशन सेंटर एस्टैब्लिश किया है। इस जगह को गोगो लैंड बोलते हैं, यह हुमामा के नज़दीक है, एयरपोर्ट के बिल्कुल नज़दीक है, हमारा स्टेट EOC फॉर श्रीनगर है। यहाँ पे हमने देखा कि जब भी कोई डिज़ास्टर होता है तब हमारी जो लैंडलाइंस है, मोबाइल टेलीफोन्स हैं, वो नहीं चलते हैं। तो उसके लिए हमें एक रिडंडेंसी प्रोग्राम में नेशनल डिज़ास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी की सपोर्ट से एक स्कीम है NDMS, नेशनल डिज़ास्टर मैनेजमेंट सर्विसेज, जिसमें हमें J&K में 3 सैटेलाइट फ़ोन मिले।
मुझे लगता है ये गांव के लिए भी बेहतरी है और जो भी मतलब क्या कहते हैं इसको डिज़ास्टर या मुसीबत या कुछ का तकलीफ जो पहुंचता है, कभी कभार भूचाल आता है, कुछ आता है, तो ये उसमें बहुत ज़रूरत और काम आएगा।
The centre has been established with support from National Disaster Management Authority of the Government of India. India's Jammu and Kashmir has had a long history of flooding. Floods in the province are linked to the Jhelum River and its history of crossing the danger mark and thereby inundating the valley.
Models dazzled on the ramp as they walked on the opening day of the Lakme Fashion Week Winter Festive 2018 in India's showbiz capital Mumbai on Wednesday. The fashion show is held twice every year where new and ace designers showcase the latest collections. The curtains for the collection will come down on August 29th. Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsia Newsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsia Newsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.